Nonchalant criminal at work. On May 1st, Nicholas Wright saunters over to this car at a Shell gas station and steals it right in front of the owner. Wright has a thing for taking things that are not his. Just about a week before he drove off with that car, detectives say he broke into an Auburn home, took the keys from the kitchen, and stole a Toyota Tundra out of another man's garage.
We ended up catching him, and he ended up confessing to the crime, so he went to jail. He was released with no bail.
A King County District Court judge released him with no bail, bringing us back to this moment at the Shell gas station. And for stealing this car, another King County District Court judge let Wright go again without bail.
A lot of the folks committing these property crimes, they've committed violent crimes.
And arresting them is a dangerous job many times. For example, the Lentz Auburn police had to go to arrest Uso Hale on May 15th is scary. Police say they witnessed a car running red lights and driving erratically. They tried to pull the driver over, who they later learned was Hale, but he took off, and during the chase, you see a female passenger trying to escape. Eventually, an officer tries to stop him with his patrol car. He still manages to run into an Economy Inn, and in the end, it takes a canine to force Hale to comply.
Get down on the ground, Hale! Get back!
This is the second time he's run from police just this year. Hale has 4 open cases in King County and more than a dozen convictions.
A lot of these people that are committing these crimes, they're addicts. They're people that are doing that to support their drug habit.
With every criminal act, there is a community impact.
I would have panic attacks all the time because of it.
Alicia Bomer says she will never be the same.
I have some guy jump in my car, and then he's telling me to go.
That guy is Mitchell Nelson, and this is him on January 21st, 2018.
Stop! You're under arrest!
Dashcam video shows Nelson on the run from police right before he jumped into Alicia's car.
I was like, no, you don't want to do this. I was like, my kids are going to be here.
1 minute, she was waiting for her kids at an Auburn park and ride. The next minute, she is trying to physically fight off a delirious intruder.
He was actually tasered twice and in a physical altercation with police before he even got into my car.
By the time Alicia jumped out of her car, police swarmed Nelson.
Stop resisting! Stop!
But he does not surrender, ramming Alicia's car into a police vehicle.
It took 5 police officers to get him out. They finally broke my window.
Get out of the car!
Before this incident, court records accused Nelson of committing 2 more crimes in the same month. But that didn't stop him from getting out of jail in just days.
And I feel so bad for the next person that happened to. He hijacked another car, and then that's how he ended up barricading himself in that house.
This is the house she is talking about. Nelson broke into a home carrying out a 12-hour standoff with SWAT teams in Federal Way. He even cut out this hole trying to escape. But this would be Nelson's last run from police. He died here. Authorities say they shot Nelson after he opened fire first.
He had a violent history with the police. That should be a red flag before they even let him out.
By the time Nelson attacked Alicia, he had accrued 13 convictions and in 7 different occasions failed to show up to court.
There's just no consequences at all, so it encourages people to just keep reoffending over and over.
In Alicia's case, prosecutors did file several charges against Nelson, including robbery in the 2nd degree. During arraignment, King County Superior Court Judge Bill Bowman lowered his bail from $100,000 to $25,000.
His bail was so low on him that he was able to bond out.
After Nelson paid the required 10% of the $25,000 bail, he was out of jail. Judge Bowman required Nelson to go to an alternative treatment program, but Nelson did not follow through. Instead, he continued to terrorize the community. Auburn PD spokesperson Steve Stalker says he feels that violent repeat criminals are not getting prosecuted to the fullest extent.
It certainly feels like to us in the last couple of years that something has changed.
Q13 News requested an interview with King County Prosecutor Dan Satterberg to talk about concerns over repeat offenders, but he declined our interview. But his spokesperson does say they have conservative filing standards in hopes of getting plea deals. As for Judge Bill Bowman, he had no comment. Well, when the King County Prosecutor's Office says they filed charges conservatively, the end goal is that the defendant will plead guilty in order for them to avoid an expensive trial. Although Judge Bowman with Superior Court had no comment, we did hear back from the King County District Court that handled Nicholas Wright, the guy you saw in the beginning of my piece who stole that car at the gas station. Now, Chief Presiding Judge Donna Tucker sent us a statement saying the judges in Wright's case handled it appropriately. She says it is essential to understand that judges must maintain neutrality and cannot conduct their own investigations. Instead, judges only can consider relevant information and evidence that is brought before them by the prosecutor and defense attorney. Tucker says Wright received no bail in his cases when he appeared in front of her judges because he had not been charged with a crime at that point. Now, even with those explanations, it is clear when you look at the cases I showed you, the current system is not equipped to deal with many of these repeat offenders. Mayor Durkin agrees. She started a working group to come up with solutions. They have been meeting since April every other week, and the goal is to come up with a region-wide solution, different ideas, different strategies, because one thing is clear, like I said, what we have right now is not working, so they want to come up with a plan, and she promises by the end of this late summer that they hope to have something rolled out to us. And of course, we're going to, keep on that and try to get some answers.
Yeah, I covered one of those meetings and I talked to one of the people who, they deal with these repeat offenders all the time. He mentioned, no one's even talking about the drug issue yet. I mean, we have to figure out ways to get these people help, right? But we're not even scratching the surface on why they're doing it in the first place. So that's another topic that they need to figure out as well. So
and also how drugs can impact mental health.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's that as well.
Yeah,
so.
mental health, drugs, you nailed it. All of those things are all rolled up in one. That's why it is so complicated.
It is.
And we need a region-wide thing, and everyone needs to come together to come up with solutions.
They certainly do. All right, Hannah, thanks.